Welcome to this presentation on the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, or CAASPP 101. We feel it's important to start by making sure everyone is grounded in basic knowledge about California's assessment system. A balanced assessment system includes multiple types of assessments used at different frequencies and for different purposes. In our example, each of the three assessment types are represented: formative, interim, and summative. The stacks of books show the granularity of the evidence collected by each of the different types of assessment over the course of a school year. The small stacks of books, about 1 to 3 high, occur in this graphic most frequently. These represent the formative practices. With formative practices, we are assessing a small number of learning goals or standards, and we are assessing them daily during classroom instruction. You will notice a few piles at the formative level before we reach the next level. As we move through time, we can assess more standards. This is where we have medium-sized piles of books that represent interim assessments. Interim assessments occur at strategic points throughout the year, and in our graphic, these happen after some formative piles occur. At the far right of this graphic, we have the largest pile of books, which represents the most standards tested at once, with the summative assessment. Also notice the color of the books. Reds and yellows assessed with the first few formative practices, and then an interim of reds and yellow. Then green and purple formative practices, and then a green and purple interim. At the end, a summative pile with all of the colors of books. Put simply, the formative assessment process gives us information as the student is learning throughout the entire school year. Interim assessments tell us how the student is progressing toward end-of-unit goals or benchmarks, and the summative assessment tells us what the student has learned at the end of the year. CAASPP, or again, California's Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, is the main system of achievement tests. The CAASPP system is portrayed as an umbrella, illustrating how it encompasses several assessments in multiple content areas and serves students from different populations. For science, there is the California Science Test, or CAST, as well as the California Alternate Assessment for Science. For English, Language Arts, Literacy, or ELA, and Mathematics, we have the Smarter Balanced Summative Assessments and the California Alternate Assessments, or CAAs, as we call them, for ELA and Math. Then for Spanish Reading and Language Arts, we have the CSA, or the California Spanish Assessment. These are the summative assessments in the CAASPP system. Per state law, the CAASPP system's purpose is to promote high-quality teaching and learning. All of the assessments in the CAASPP system are aligned with state-adopted standards. This includes both the summative and interim assessments, as well as the formative assessment resources and tools for teachers. In a complete assessment system like the CAASPP system, when all pieces work together and teachers use the system to improve their teaching and learning, students graduate ready for success in college, career, and life. Let's talk about some of the common features for all summative assessments under CAASPP. All are administered via a computer. All are computer-based, and the Smarter Balanced summative assessments are computer adaptive. This means the computer adjusts the difficulty of the items based on student responses. For example, students who answer correctly receive increasingly difficult items. The computer adaptive portion of the test is often referred to as the CAT. The computer adaptive nature of the Smarter Balanced assessments allow them to be more precise and shorter than the other fixed form tests. Please note that there is a performance task section of the Smarter Balanced that is not adaptive. All CAASPP assessments include a wide variety of items. Some items are multiple choice, others require short answers. Some items may have technology enhancements that require students to drag and drop or create a graph. There are also performance tasks included in the summative assessments. Performance tasks are often referred to as PTs. In short, PTs are a set of items related to the same prompt. These items assess problem-solving skills and critical thinking. You might be wondering right now who takes the CAASPP assessments. All students in grades 3 through 8 and grade 11 take the Smarter Balanced summative assessment unless a student's active individualized education program, or IEP, designates that they take the California Alternate Assessment. The alternate assessments are only for the most significantly cognitive disabled students, approximately less than 1% of the population. Students designated to take the alternate assessments take them in the same grade level as the Smarter Balanced assessments. The only other exception is for students who are English learners who have been enrolled in a U.S. school less than 12 months. This is an optional exemption for the ELA portion of the test only. If a newly arrived English learner takes the ELA assessment, they will receive a valid score and a score report, but the results will not be used for accountability calculations. The California Science Test, or CAASPP, is taken by all students in grade 5, 8, and once in high school. In high school, students will only take the CAASPP one time, either in grade 10, 11, or 12. If students do not take the CAASPP in grade 10 or 11, they will be automatically registered to take it in grade 12. Students repeating grade 12 do not take the test. It is recommended that students take the CAASPP as close as possible to their last science course in high school. The CDE has an excellent flyer that talks about when students should take the CAASPP in high school. Lastly, we want to talk about the assessment timeline. The assessment timeline is a great resource and can be found on the CDE website or the CAASPP website. This timeline shows the time of year for each assessment and gives you the full picture of what assessments there are in California's assessment system and when they take place. This is important because the summative ELPAC is administered in spring, so we do have to pay close attention to what other assessments are being given at that time. We do have some homework for you. We want you to check in with your site leadership as well as the LEA coordinator to coordinate testing schedules across programs. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy the pre-test trainings.